Welcome to AM Excellence 52. It's the Spaniard here. It is 5:25 on Sunday morning, October 9th. Again, this is AM Excellence 52. A little bit of different scenery. I'm down in DC getting ready to run the Army 10 miler, which is a 10-mile race here in DC. And the book I'm reading, to summarize today's reading, and it's an early one on a Sunday morning. Normally I'd be sleeping, but I gotta run the race. The theme of today is creating an A-plus team, and that is putting the right people around you, no matter where you're at, really, whether you're a high school kid growing up or whether you're a professional in your family, making sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people. And the author in Relentless from Good to Great to Unstoppable was talking about hard work, working hard, putting the right people around you to keep you in front of the truth. A couple videos ago was called Stay in Front of Your Crap. Staying in front of your crap really means hearing the truth, looking at the truth straight on rather than just stuffing stuff in the closet, letting it fester. And this was talking about hard work, and the author says, he was talking about a particular player in the past, and he said, this player, however, thought he knew better because everyone had always told him he knew better. And he's touching on the fact that, especially at the highest level of professional sports, and in my career, I definitely experienced this, you need to surround yourself with people who aren't afraid to tell you how it really is. Not what you want to hear, but how it really is. I was always very fortunate. I had my brother and my manager right at the top who had no problem. I actually think they liked telling me what was wrong and what needed to be fixed. So it's uncomfortable at times, certainly uncomfortable, but extremely important to have those people with you. And he talks about when he works with people, and he says, I ask 3 things of anyone who walks in my door. And this is simple. Apply this to your life on both sides of the equation, as the leader and as the employee or part of the supporting cast. I ask 3 things of anyone who walks in my door. Show up, work hard, listen. It's not that hard. Show up, work hard, listen. The most effective things I know from my personal experience, but everything I read is simple. As I say all the time, don't blame, don't complain, don't make excuses. I can never say that word. Blame, don't complain, don't make excuses. Tim Grover, the author of Relentless from Good to Great to Unstoppable, says, I ask 3 things of anyone who walks in my door. Show up, check. Work hard, check. Listen, check. If you can't give me all 3 of those things, I can't help you. Apply that rule in everything you do on both sides of the equation, as the leader and as the supporting cast member. And then he goes on to talk about this thing about recognizing the truth, staying ahead of the crowd, staying ahead of the truth. Otherwise, it's going to fester, turn into a mountain, an obstacle that you don't want to deal with, and you put in the closet, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And he says, because no matter who you are, part of success means recognizing the people. Hola, buenos días, Luis. ¿Cómo estamos? Estoy aquí con mi hermano Scott. Hola, desde los Estados Unidos, Luis.
Yeah. Hola, Luis.
Y mi hermano dice hola también. Saludos a la familia. Sorry about that. A friend of mine just signed in from Spain. And he says, because no matter who you are, part of success means recognizing the people who can help you get where you want to go, putting all the best pieces in place. You have to surround yourself with people who can operate at your level of demanding excellence. Now, he's talking from a professional point of view here. And, you know, a lot of this book, we're talking about coolers, closers, and cleaners, getting to the top, staying at the top. And sometimes people lose sight of that, and sometimes people lose sight of their values and what's really important to get to the top. I've prided myself when I have people in place in my life who prevent that from happening. My mom will be the first person. My mom will be the first person to put me in my place. I could become the president of the United States, and she would have no problem walking right up through any sort of ordeal, press conference event, and putting me in my place. So it's extremely important to have those people in place. And as you're pursuing whatever goals, as you're pursuing that excellence, to make sure you keep them in place, because as you progress further and further, it's easier and easier to let them slip away. And he goes on to say, it's still your responsibility to surround yourself with excellent people and keep those people accountable, which is especially challenging when you're extremely successful. So it's kind of a two-way street. They keep you accountable, you keep them accountable. the author goes on to talk about hangers-on, entourages and guys who are just part of the crew because they're able to. They grew up with a star, etc. I've certainly never experienced that in my in my career, but it is a real thing. And he says it's a two-way street. The supporting cast, they keep you accountable, but you got to keep them accountable. It's all about staying in front of the crap, staying in front of the truth. And he goes on to say, just to start to wrap this up, because I got a race to run. He says that's a cleaner's talent, gathering the best possible assets, placing them exactly where they have to be, and if necessary, moving them into specific situations for his benefit. And again, like I said, he's talking professionally, and a lot of times this is treading the line between enjoying the process and just trying to get the result. You got to be careful not to to walk that line, to tread that line too closely. Above all, in everything I do, everything I say, above all, it's the intent and the integrity that is the most important. Once you forget that, I don't, in my life, I don't, it's done. I mean, my life's not done, but the pursuit of excellence is done if you lose that intent and you lose that integrity that I believe is the foundation and is the most important. And I'll wrap it up with this. He says, and this is awesome, and it's I live my life, I do certain things all the time. I surround myself with the best. I ask questions all the time. I read all the time. You're absolutely right, Jen. I read all the time. I work out all the time. I'm with my family all the time. It's a system. It's a system of living. And he says cleaners, and again, cleaners are the best of the best competitors that there are. Cleaners rarely make changes just for the sake of change. What happens when you shake things up or stir the pot? You get random, unpredictable results. When you create a system in your life, my system, I call them elements of excellence. My system is this: creating a vision, identifying your core values, defining your success, living with accountability, and surrounding yourself with the best. Those are my system. It's how I've lived my life. It's how I'll continue to live my life. And when you have that consistent system, you'll get consistent results. I want to be the most sought after speaker in the United States. Only way I'm going to get there is by living a system and implementing a system, the same one that helped me get to the UFC. So develop that system in your own life. And if you don't have your own, find someone that is successful that you respect and model theirs. It's what I do. It's what every successful person does, is models the people in front of them. And the last thing I want to talk about, two small points here to bring home this creating an A+ team. He says the whole team has to have one goal so we can all reach that end result together. It can't be about individual priorities. You're part of a team. Together, everyone accomplishes more. A little cheesy? Maybe. But it's true. There can't be secret agendas as part of the team. Whether you have your own team or whether you're part of a team, it's got to be that big vision that I just talked about. Create a vision. You've got to be working towards that vision. And I'll send you off with this. When you're an A+ person, you want A+ people around you. And everyone has to be accountable for doing A+ work. I'll keep you accountable. You keep me accountable. Standard of excellence. Standard of excellence. Can't go wrong. Hope you guys enjoyed AM Excellence 52 from DC. I'm about ready to run the race. Hopefully I finish. And as always, please check myself, my co-host out on our podcast, A Fighter's Mindset, the Spaniard Podcast. You can check us out on iTunes or charlie-brenneman.com/podcast. Thursday of this week will be our first interview episode. Thanks, Jen. Thursday will be our first interview episode. I interviewed this person last week, and it was an awesome interview that every single one of you will walk away with. Talk about values, talk about integrity, talk about reaching the top of the world, and still being an awesome person. So you'll hear it all at charlie-brenneman.com, or hop onto iTunes and check us out, A Fighter's Mindset, the Spaniard Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. It is now 5:34 on Sunday morning. Have a kick butt day. Fight well, and carpe diem.